Now, who was the first king of both England and Scotland?
James I. Sir.
Is it Canute or something like that?
It's a little later than Canute, but you're right. It's pre-William I. Oh, dear me. That's not how the crown looks, by the way. Maybe when the Queen goes to a British Lions rugby match.
He normally has a couple of Coke cans. Yeah.
No, because actually James I was the first one to have what was called the Triple Crown of Scotland, Wales, England and Ireland, but not the first to have the double throne of Scotland and England. Who was?
Ethelbert.
That kind of Athel.
King Engelbert. King Engelbert Humbledinck.
Athelstan, King Athelstan, 937
His
AD.
hand. He's got a hand like a Simpson.
It's incredible we didn't know that.
King Constantine II of Scotland submitted to him in 937, as did the kings of Cornwall, Wales and Northumbria, when he became the first king of all Britain, Athelstan. I would also have allowed Edward I, which is wrong, but not as wrong as James I.
Now, which king appeared on the first British Christmas stamp?
George V. Wenceslas.
Yes. Yes! You're absolutely right. So, in 1963, the then Postmaster General was Tony Benn. And he launched a competition in conjunction with Blue Peter and the Post Office to design Britain's very first Christmas stamp. And 6-year-old Tasvia Shemza, that's her there on the right, she won with a Good King Wenceslas design. And James Berry, next to her, he got a 1 6 stamp. But here is her stamp. So he was the only king on the stamp, because, of course, the monarch is Queen Elizabeth II. And Tasvia is in the audience. There she is. There she is, all grown up. Oh. Congratulations.
That's the longest round of applause we've ever had for anything. I love your stamp.
Tasvia, was the picture based on anybody?
Well, it was indeed, yes. It's not King Wenceslas,
right,
as people say. It was actually a picture of my dad.
Oh, a picture of your dad! Well, there he is. I think you did very well with that.
Sorry, if your dad is wearing that hat, I think he's a bit above his station, isn't he?
What I love about this is the stamp was issued in 1966. So, in fact, Daleks, which were introduced in 1963, are an older Christmas tradition than Christmas stamps here in the UK. Do you know who that is in the picture?
Is it one of the Doctor William Hartnell?
It was William Hartnell, the very first Doctor Who.
Was the first Doctor Who really old, then?
Yes. There was something about wisdom and gravitas with the role.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with your new white beard, you could be up for it.
Yeah.
I think now the beard's...
I don't think the beard cancels out the skin.
I think you'd be a really good Doctor.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
And your mum could be like the Doctor Who's sidekick.
Oh, my God. The first Doctor to top himself.
How did blind King John of Bohemia find his way around the battlefield?
Like that.
Well,
By saying, where are we?
He must have had helpers. Somebody must have helped him.
Well, they did, in there was a particular way. He became King of Bohemia and Poland as a teenager, and he loved war. And that was his undoing, because he developed ophthalmia and became blind, but that didn't stop him from wanting to fight. And he joined up with Philip IV of France and made the big mistake of taking on Britain. No, you don't do that. Oh, no. We get the dusty old cane out of the cupboard and we give Johnny Frenchman a damn good slapping.
So this is the 100 Years' War?
This was indeed, and it was 1346. 30,000 troops of Philip, including blind John of Bohemia, died at the battle, and 200 English died.
Oh. That is embarrassing.
That is a bit embarrassing,
That's a whitewash.
It is a bit of a whitewash. But many people regard that battle as the end of chivalry, because we cheated by using longbows and cannon.
You see?
And the French were used to hand-to-hand combat, and they just couldn't
We did a
cope.
lot of that. Didn't play fair. I spit in your face.
Yeah.
Let's have a little wine before we begin.
Yeah.
You know, just a little...
We had a technological advantage.
I think after 20,000, the other 10,000 think, do you know what, I'm going to jack this in.
Actually, John of Bohemia's son, Charles, did run away very sensibly and had a very successful life. He became a highly creditable Holy Roman Emperor and presided over a golden age of Bohemia.
Who goes in and cleans up this mess?
Oh, there's a lot of scavenging, I'm afraid, of the dead bodies. It's a pretty nasty business, those battles. But, importantly, John did fight. What he would do is he would, as it were, he would have a rider to the left of him and a rider to the right of him, and he would be lashed to them, and they pointed him in the right direction, and he would just wheeled away with his...
The two of them surely would just ride well away from him. Saying, you've got him, sir, you've got him. Here's another one. Well done, sir. And just bash swords together.
Unfortunately...
Eating sandwiches.
The whistle of arrows.
Oh, that was a close one. Oh, I'm hit, sir, I'm hit.
That's what you and I would do, but unfortunately they were too stupid and they did indeed dart into the fray.
Is this what they wore? One's got one of those perfume bottles and a pineapple in his head.
Yes, it does look most
The other one's
peculiar.
wearing one of those things that you squeeze an orange with.
Oh,
He's
yes,
got-
that's right, it is. A lemon juicer kind of thing.
Did he ask for that costume, or was it because he was blind? Stick a pineapple on his head, that'll be a laugh.
No.
How did they choose who would flank?
I guess he just gave orders. You will go one side of me and you will go the other.
In fact, that'd be a great idea for blind people nowadays with the white stick. You know, there's some people that don't get out of the way and don't pay them respect. I say we get rid of the white stick, give them a sword. Down the street.
Very good. That
People
would
in
work.
wheelchairs, the old Boadicea things out the side.
Yeah.
You know,
Or a
side-
lightsaber.
Exactly.
That would
Now
do.
we're talking. Yeah.
Can you get those? Are they real, then? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and then?
They're real. They're
I think so.
absolutely real.
Wom. Exactly. Yeah. If you strike me down now, I will become more powerful than ever.
Now, to give the show a bit of a fillip, there have been 2 King Philips of Macedon, 6 King Philips of Spain, 6 King Philips of France, and, of course, 1 King Philip of QI. But when will we get a King Philip of England?
We're not having one of those. Not never. Never say never. In the future.
No, not in the future.
We've had one.
We've had one, but he is not normally taught in the school mnemonics. King Philip of England, he reigned for 4 years, 1554 to 1558. He was actually King Philip II of Spain, but he was King of England and Ireland by virtue of his marriage to Queen Mary. So not a consort like Queen Elizabeth's Prince Philip, but actually crowned king in his own right. So both their faces were on the coins. Parliament was called under their joint authority. And he actually lived in England just under a year, July 1554 to 1555. He married her, he was 27, she was 37. It's kind of an odd thing. He only spoke Castilian Spanish, so the whole marriage must have been conducted through an interpreter.
I wonder what attracted her to him at 27.
Who
when she
knows?
was 37.
It's rather sweet. When she died, he wrote, "I felt a reasonable regret for her death."
Maybe it's better in Spanish.
He proposed marriage to her half-sister, of course, Elizabeth.
Classy.
Classy. The Philippines are named after him. He ruled the Spanish
He
Empire.
had very slim legs.
It does look like they've photoshopped his head onto the body of a child.
How many King Henrys of England have there been?
Say it.
8. So 9, in fact. Henry II had a son who was known as young King Henry, who, according to the French tradition, was anointed king while Henry II, his father, was still alive. And so he wasn't given a regnal number of 3, but he was king, and he died at age 27 or so. And he was quite an amusing fellow. He was very popular. He died young, but when he was 17, he got in trouble with his father for refusing to turn up home at the castle for Christmas. Instead, he held a feast in Normandy in which he invited only knights whose names were William. It's a randomly peculiar thing to do. Anyway.
So he was actually Henry's the second and a half?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
I love the idea of that party, though. The idea he's been to so many royal events and fancy weddings and gone, I can't remember everyone's name. I feel so impolite.
Yeah.
I just want Williams, and then he just arrived and went, hello, William. You all right, William? William.
Yeah.
Bill,
Exactly,
Bill.
saves you having to bother the name, like the Beefsteak Club in London, where all the staff are called Charles, whatever their names are. So you hear people going, oh, hello, Charles. I thought Charles would be in the bar today. No, my lord, Charles was ill, so Charles has taken his place.
Is this a real place?
This is a real place called the Beefsteak Club.
You're a member of that,
I
aren't
am,
you?
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for watching. Do remember to subscribe to the QI channel and click here to watch more videos. Well, please, come on, pick something.